Bortle here at YCS Richmond with, whoa, the finalist himself. Please introduce yourself to the world, man.
My name is Jack Allen. I typically go by Preston, but the Konami legal ID goes with that. So I'm really happy to be here. I didn't think that I would go further than day one, and then I got day two, and then I said, what if I get top 32? And then it was one step at a time from there, and then I made it to finals, and I was blown away. So I'm more than happy with how everything went.
Jeez, what deck did you use, Matt?
I played Unchained.
What made you decide to use this deck?
I have been drawn towards mid-range decks recently, and I like making clean, concise lists. Not a huge fan of breaking a ton. So I felt like this deck had a really good follow-up and a really high power ceiling. If going first, if you made it to turn 3, they were most of the time dead. And going second, I thought that it had enough extenders that if you mash it in with enough generics, you kind of just win going second. I think total, I don't remember my top cut die roll, but I know in Swiss I was 3 and 8 in die rolls, and I think I won 2 of the die rolls in top cut, so it was like, yeah, I just kind of went second most of the day.
Okay, before we start the deck profile, any shout outs?
Yeah, a few to give out. Shout out to all of my Raleigh crew and the Raleigh people that I play with. All of my friends that came here with me. Shout out to the Hickory crew that plays. They were the ones that got me into the game originally. That was a big deal. Shout out to my girlfriend. She lets me come. She's really supportive. She was texting me the whole time, being happy about it. Shout out to my dogs. And then, of course, we play at our main local shops, Underworld Games in Raleigh. They're a really nice local shop around there. And then White Dragon Games is essentially the second locals home for me. We hang out there. The shop owner is super cool. All the Wilson guys, shout out to them too. They were super helpful throughout the day. But yeah, it was a great time overall.
Well, sweet. Without further ado, please show us your finalist deck profile.
Absolutely. So yeah, I guess starting off, I played triple Tour Guide and then the Rhino Warrior to summon. This card really liked my hand. Top 4 against Pack, I top deck ripped it in game 3 to win the game. And that seals it from there. This alone is full combo. This alone is full combo that also plays around Nib pretty well, at least, because you can still put up Caesar in a trap. So yeah, I mean, literally you can't change that. Then I played triple red dog. They're the pair, they're both the extenders from hand. You can't really go wrong. Any Unchained list should be playing 3 of each. It's super staple. It's how you play the game. Shavara setting from deck, of course, is a main thing. And yeah. Next up, I played 1 each of purple and purple. This card, of course, really good getting back to trap. Lets you kind of pick whichever trap you want to be set for the end of your turn. In the mirror, I was trying to put up the Reborn trap as much as I can for the follow-up. Pretty much every other matchup, I was putting the pop. Because even into tier where it's pretty bad, you hit the field spell and that's pretty good. And then Soul was really incredible for me all day. I was probably using this card way more than I should. It was just used for popping cards. It came up for me so many times, I think literally 4 separate matches where I would have something like Rikeya Sarama or Ruha on board and not a great way to play other than that. And one of them specifically, like having Imperm, having, I remember specifically a Volzar Lars being a hot red, things like that. So you go to battle phase, crash it, the effect and damage step to summon they can't interact with. This summon still in damage step, discard non-target pop a card. So you can out either the thing that you're trying to get over, or you can pop your own trap on the field to summon another thing and swing over. And that was really big. Didn't really use its effect when is popped to summon back the end phase because you're locked out of it most of the time. Then I played Blue Dog, Blue Guy. Blue Dog, as you saw in the finals, loves my hand. That's why I make Soul so much, is that I have to discard this, and there's really no other way to get it out of your hand. I think round, it was either 4 or 5, somewhere in there, I tribute summoned this over a Nibiru, and that was my only way to play, and it worked out. Rikeya, I think, is the worst name in the deck overall. It doesn't do much alone. It's a 2-card starter that does also use your normal summon, which is kind of rough. It's still good for like going to battle phase to play around Nib. I did that a couple times where you pop one of your guys and then in battle phase swing through. My opponent tried to do it in finals as well, but I had Drew Swarm in hand and then Nibbed him and made his too. So that was big. So that barely kept me in that one, but then we played Top Deck War. And then I played Triple Search, Triple Escape, Double Abominable. This search is literally any of the Unchained cards. A lot of the time you just search the trap, and that is the best idea. Otherwise, it also is not hard once per turn, like per effect. You get to do each effect, so 2 of it is combo. This card is my favorite trap because it has the actual pop. That was a lot better for interaction and stuff. This is all for follow-up. And then both of them, of course, staple. Gotta pop them, gotta summon from deck, and then you combo. That's it for the Unchained monsters. Not really anymore that you can play. So for the generics, 3 prosp, staple, you don't draw cards. What's in your opening hand is in your opening hand. It's great, helps you combo, or a couple times I used it to grab like an Ashe against a tier player, and then I Ashed a Guido and it won me the game. Then after that, we've got 2 Thrust and a Talents. I decided to do this because prior I was breaking on Thrust, and I didn't, again, I don't like breaking. I want to have as much consistency as possible and not messing up. I didn't think Talents was crazy enough after testing it for a while to just be the raw 3 of. This has the utility, you can get either Trap, Prosp, you can get the Searcher, that won me a couple times, of course. But yeah, and then Talents is just staple. It's the best going second card for that. It's great in the mirror, so yeah, this is incredible in the mirror. And that was kind of the idea there. The only thing that I don't really like it into, can't even remember at the time. There's a few things that I sided out against going second. I'll take it out going first most of the time. Then for the hand trap lineup, it was triple Nib, triple Ashe, triple Imperm. I thought these were the best and most generic. Crow was the only real other real consideration for main. I'm kind of glad I didn't. I nibbed so many people and it saved me. As you saw in the finals, it almost saved me, but my opponent drew the Rhino Warrior, and I mean, that was good. We were in a top deck war, and how it goes. So those are put away. Then I didn't play the DDD package. My kind of counter thought was I want to generically be as good as possible with going second and first. I don't want to draw the guy as a brick. It misses you out on the time thing, but I went to time once and I was losing anyway, so it didn't matter. So I played 3 Fenrir. Fenrir replaced that for me. He's a great way to start off. Great way to outboards. Summoning him against somebody SP passing wins you everything, or SP plus something, because you just swing over the SP, play in main phase 2. And it was just good everywhere. Like literally, I think this card's the GOAT. Like he's my boy. He was stuck in my hand all day.
Nice. What's the main deck count?
40 exactly.
40,
that deck, I just don't think it's worth going higher. So I'll start off with the non-Unchained cards. I went Zeus and Sky Thunder for those 2 going second. This card solos Dragon Link. Multiple times I'd like nib my opponent or do a little interaction. They'd put up a weenie board and I would play a little bit and then make this. I think the main use for me was I would like use it, swing over. I think I swung over a Savage once and then used it to bounce a Dispatter another time. So that he soloed that matchup. And then Zeus, I did not make a single time. Hindsight, I literally might just cut it. I don't play Darius or stuff to make it off Tour Guide, and I don't like using Caesar. And I think if you're making Caesar to make Zeus, you can kind of just kill him anyway. Then I went to the double Caesar. He's broken. He's Solemn Warning on legs. There's no reason not to play him. I didn't play the spell because I thought the DD guy was a brick. Underworld Goddess, Elds Pearly. I used it to kill a couple of my opponents because they weren't expecting it and left an SP on field a little too long. So I would just link over it and then they were dead. That was my top 8 matchup. I think specifically that exact thing happened. Played both Nightmares. Unicorn you need to play because you're fiend locked a lot of the time still at the end of your turn. I didn't Griffin at all until I played a Unchained mirror match where I needed literally anything to put on the board or link off with. So that reset an Imperm and that was pretty good for me. It ended up winning me that game, but it was a close one. Then SP. So funny thing about this card, it is the best card in the format overall. People think I didn't summon it until round 10. Every other time I was fiend locked and couldn't, and was just playing with my Unchained cards or hand traps. And the hand traps and the Fenrirs typically did it. Top cut and everything, of course, it did way better. You saw in the finals, use it to banish from grave, and then you literally just like with the Muckraker, banish both with the Muckraker, he can't play anymore from there, and then on my turn I get the Muckraker back, reborn, and bring it back, and then you combo from there because Muckraker summons back something. Did a few little mess ups where I tried to link with Muckraker. That literally is just, I don't make the card that much, but it comes up. There's the Muckraker like we talked about. It's a reborn, it's much reborn. Abomination, Anguish, 2 Rage, and 2 Yama. This card enables the whole deck. It literally searches everything. He's such a staple end-board monster at the moment. Doesn't proc a lot of the good stuff, and is just like, he's follow-up too. Like he adds back. A couple times you saw it in the finals. This was how I won, was being able to proc it, pop, and then have exact game, or just a little bit over. He's one of my favorite cards. He's a really cool Link 4, so I'm happy that I got to play him. That's it for the extra deck, 15 of course. So I'll go to the side. We've got double Lightning Storm, generic, beats Rescue Ace, good in the mirror, everything like that. Called by, good for going first, really good against tier. That was kind of my idea. Good against Unchained too, so like I decided to go first. Really just going first though. Going second against tier, maybe. We got Herald of the Abyss, Pearly. Played it once, didn't need to see it. It was fine. Big Dog wins the mirror. Won me my top 8 round. Lost me the finals because I drew it. 3 Spooky Dogwood. That's a Druid Swarm. 3 Spooky Dogwood. This card never came out. I genuinely should not have sided it. I was worried because I wasn't playing the DDD. I went to time once. Like I said, I was losing anyway. Every other game, it felt like they died quick enough. So this card literally was a cheerleader. Then I played triple Druid Swarm for the mirror. It's really good in the mirror. It's good against tier. It's good against literally any dark deck because it also sends from grave and doesn't proc Unchained monsters, and that's really good. Triple Droll, another good thing. Throw it in against things like Rescue Ace. I did it against Pack, playing Infernoble in the semifinals, but I didn't draw it, so it didn't matter. I think I drolled a Pearly player, that same Pearly player, and he had to pass, and then I was able to win from there. So a little funny story about the last card. It is 1 Thrust. However, I had a deck check in top 16 going into. I had been notified prior because a couple of my cards they said looked a little warped. I ended up replacing them, and nothing came of that. But they neglected to tell me in that last time where they found warp cards that I did not have Harpy's Feather Duster written on my on my deck list. I had a 3rd Thrust in the side. So until top 16, I played with Duster. It was good. That was what I wanted it to be. That was what I wish it was. It didn't come up after that, and then I had the Thrust. Don't think this Thrust came up, but yeah, it's the last spot. And that's the whole deck.
Hey man, well, congrats again on getting 2nd place.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Board